Good evening and welcome to the special session and regular session of the meeting. Over to Mr. Bolin.
Thank you, Mr. Hankins. I appreciate that. Welcome, everyone. The first part of this meeting, this first part is the preliminary determination hearing. You saw the posting that was put out July 10th, but the district has gone through an arduous process for 2 years, over 2 years actually, where we have taken a look at facilities, taken a look at the needs in our buildings, and we have obviously identified some areas of where we need some improvements, but let's not kid ourselves. We've got 10 educational facilities. Here we are in a district where we have a new high school, that's what people call it, that is coming up on 50 years old. But it's the new high school. We had that building built after the old high school that was on Main Street was, the cornerstone was put in 1913, and that building was torn down after 62 years of service because it had reached its life expectancy or limit, and they built the new high school, on Gray Street. We currently have 5 educational facilities that are older than that 62 years. Let that sink in just a minute. We have 5 that are older than that, exceed that. And that's a challenge. Mr. Stout's sitting back there. He's the director of operations, and it's a battle every day to fix things. And that's been one of the things that we've done over the last 2 years. And I appreciate the board's support. We've been fixing a lot of things. But we also have financial advisors sitting here telling us, you can only fix things so long before you run out of money to fix things with. You've got to make some changes. You've got to do some things to make the district fiscally solvent for years to come. Let me explain briefly why that is so important for us. Right now, currently, the state of Indiana gives us 2 funds to fund schools out of. The operations fund takes care of buildings and stuff like that, and the education fund, which is our count. It's count the students and you get so much per student. So that's for teachers, that's for the classroom, that's the education fund. The operations takes care of, pays your insurance, pays your energy costs, pays for your custodians, pays for your transportation, pays for all that stuff. It's non-classroom stuff. Currently, we have to shift 15%, just shy of it, 14.9, 14.8% of our education fund to operations to keep operations solvent. We have to do that. What's that mean to the classroom teachers? We can't pay them as much because we're shifting that much money out of the education fund to the operations fund. Well, this board has taken on the task of saying, well, we can't keep doing that. We have to be more competitive. And in order to make us more competitive, we have to protect the education fund. And one way to do that is protect the operations fund. And you can't do that if you have all these old buildings, these old facilities, and you keep trying to stretch the saran wrap over the bowl further and further and further because it eventually rips. We just lost, we have, always when you get close to the start of school year, you get those retirements, you get the resignations, and it pains me sometimes to see great people leave the district, especially great young people leave the district because they're going to go down to a neighboring school and make $10,000 or $15,000 more because of the pay they're able to do because they don't have the same restrictions on the operations fund that we have. That's important for our kids because I'm sitting here as a superintendent, but I'm also a parent. And I've been a parent of kids that came to the district. I want the best in front of our kids. We have to be able to try to provide the best for our kids. And we can't keep doing it this way. We've got to do it a little differently. So that's why we went on this whole mission that could have been done 10 years ago, could have been done 5 years ago, could have been done 20 years ago. It wasn't. The can kept getting kicked down the road. And we are now at the point where this board, it was like either do this or it's going, Mr. Stout has a phrase. We have a few buildings that either we're going to have to do something with and repurpose or close or do something with, or they're going to close themselves. That's where we're getting to. So we can keep throwing good money after bad, or we can come up with a strategic plan to make us more attractive